Welcome to the CFG GameCast episode number 49, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love and follow, give us a like, give us a comment, what have you. Do us a favor, that goes a long way to not miss an episode, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to check out great content and awesome stuff like that. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex on the second seat. What's going on, Lex?
Not too much, man. It was one of those weeks where everything that could go wrong went wrong. I feel like I took care of it gracefully. It was just more of like a life thing happened where Dax was like, I don't feel good, and Opie was trying to help, which made her sick. It was just a whole thing. So I took a couple days off, though I didn't want to, but I have to be a good doggy and cat mommy. So if you guys missed me this week, I'm sorry. It's not that you missed me, I just wasn't there. But I did have a fun little double date last night with some friends and in my PJs, just snacking on rice cakes, playing some D&D. It was great. It was very relaxing. And I'm going to go to the store tomorrow and expand on all of this. So hopefully the setup gets a little more intriguing this next week.
Oh, that is awesome. That's good to hear. Yeah. Man, it's like
birthday money.
Oh, there you go. That's a good point.
Thanks, Uncle Richard.
Good idea. Good idea. Your giant gains to increase the best quality of the stream, so can't ask for anything more, I guess. Yes, that's cool. That's good. At least everything's is all straight with you. And how about you, Mr. Smitty, the leader of the itty bitty Smitty committee?
It has been a good, pretty solid week. We played some, what did we do? I ended up taking yesterday off. My diverticulitis was acting up yesterday, so I ended up taking a night off. We did play competitive. Lex and Dust and myself played Thursday. We got sweaty. That was nice. We ended up playing last night a little bit. I took like 2 naps yesterday. It was ridiculous. But that was fantastic. Like this whole week we've been doing since Wednesday. My daughter's birthday is next week, and we're doing like basically like a week of themed days and a gift every day, just something different because it won't be a typical her get that. She was really excited about having a birthday party, and then that obviously isn't happening. So we've been doing that stuff, and today was a bike, so they're out on a bike ride right now. Also, one of my favorite artists again, Citizen Cope, is having his birthday was this past Wednesday. So he's doing a 3-day concert thing. He did a concert Wednesday. There was one yesterday, and then there's one tonight. So this will finish it out and whatnot. So it's been pretty chill, just hunkering down. Work was pretty busy this week as well. So just trying to do some things and whatnot. So
as it always is, man. You just so busy all the time. Golly, that's quite
never ends.
My gosh. I can't believe like the amount of time, the amount of space and the amount of time that you have just to fill all these different kinds of things. Like, oh, you got to go. You're going to see your daughter, and doing your thing with your daughter. Then after that, regular work, and then after that, seeing your dude Citizen Cope, which you mind you seen 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
just going back at it.
I'm working. I'm gonna reach out to them about trying to get them on some show, any show. He explicitly said, and I have it recorded. Hey, hit up Taylor. This is his coordinator. I'd love to come on one of your shows sometime. So I have it. So I'm gonna hold him to it. And exactly. So I'm gonna see if we can get him. I'd love to get him on here. That'd be fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna throw it out there and see if we can make something happen. But I'm excited about that and see if we can, if he does it, man, that'd be legit. Not only that, but when we do start going back to shows, he was like, yeah, let her know, and we'll we gotta link up in real life. I'd love to meet you, this and that. And I was like, yes.
Well, it might be nice for him too, because it wouldn't be like a normal interviewee thing. Like he can talk about what games stuff he likes.
He's just there to chill. But yeah, exactly. Because heaven forbid,
Exactly.
heaven forbids, we're not
on that, y'all. Yeah.
What about you, Davis? What have you been up to?
Oh man, actually, it was actually cool. So I finished my Trials of Mana run. You know what's funny?
Nice.
So like, so on Thursday, I decided to do the stream, finish up the stream because I thought the stream was going to be done. I was going to finish up. It was going to be finished faster. So I was thinking, oh, I'm only going to stream for like 2 hours. I ended up like streaming the game for like 7.5 hours. And I was like, man, I was like, I just took a page out of Lex's like stamina book when it came to that, and just went at it. But yeah, so like finished the game, did the bonus content, and now I'm about to platinum it. So. But like I'm actually surprised that like in 3 months' time I played 3 different RPGs. I played Final Fantasy VII, Persona 5, and Trials, and I'm about to platinum all 3 of them. So that is insane. So.
Your new name is Mr. Platinum. That's what it is, dude.
I'll just be
Straight up.
And you keep saying stamina. It's not that I have stamina. Here's my thing. If something is intriguing and I get lost in it, time doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And then when I do finally stand up, my body's like, what is wrong with you? Hello? So welcome to my side.
Oh,
Welcome
that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen again. The only time that's going to happen is if we do that fundraiser, when we do that fundraiser. So I will say that, that won't be a habit that I will always do. But yeah, then I was also getting ready for our spoiler cast for Final Fantasy VII, which we'll be doing here. We'll be releasing here soon. So so I'm really looking forward to that because we also have a guest on for that one. So definitely check in later for that information. But let's get down to it. I know y'all weren't wanting to see the rest of our lives. We wanted to talk about what our topics are this week. So we will get into it, give it to you right now. So each of us picks a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. Yeah, the topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry that was done. And we don't want to talk about the topics ourselves. We want you, the viewer, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you wanted to say, by all means, put it inside the chat. If you have questions, we would love to converse with you on it. So definitely just put it there, and we will get on with it. So for the first topic, we'll start off with my topic. And it's a topic that I am super hyped about because this is something I've been saying for a long time that they should have done. So Ubisoft is potentially teasing to return a delisted Scott Pilgrim game. Like a Scott Pilgrim game, like that is one of the the game for the reason why I bought like digital content. Actually, when I think about it, Scott Pilgrim was the first game that I bought that was actually digital, like that was fully digital. I never usually did it at the time, but this is a really good, really fun excuse me, beat 'em up game. It kind of reminds you of River City Ransom. Excuse me.
Yes. I loved River City Ransom.
Yeah, so this is like exactly what that was. So this is game. Okay, so from this, I got this article from Ubisoft from IGN. Ubisoft is potentially teasing the return of an infamous delisted Ubisoft Montreal Scott Pilgrim game that launched back in 2010. Last night, the Academy held a rewatch of Edgar Wright's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World adaptation. Scott Pilgrim's creator, Brian Lee O'Malley, tuned in for the watch-along. O'Malley tweeted during the movie that Ubisoft should bring back the Scott Pilgrim game after the Xbox Live Arcade PlayStation Network title was delisted from both stores on December 30th, 2014. At that time, it wasn't clear why the game was taken down, but it was most likely due to licensing issues. So... Yep. This is being done because the creator of Scott Pilgrim initially started like maybe inadvertently started the campaign to bring it back, and I'm like, hell yeah, because this game, people need to play this game. This was a really fun game. People. Well, I guess you had 4 years, 4 years to get it, but most people didn't see, kind of skipped upon this. So. So I wanted to know like what y'all's views are. Like, is this something that y'all would want to try, or like is this something that y'all that you think that y'all would have gotten into? Like, what do y'all think about this news?
Go ahead, Lex.
Oh, okay. I'll go. This is definitely something I would play. So I skipped out on the PlayStation 3. I feel like we've discussed this. I was working 60 plus hours a week. I had no time for gaming. I would wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, and half the time forget to eat dinner. So this is definitely a game that I would love to play. I love the movie. It is fantastic. Ramona Flowers, God. What's funny is in the movie, she did all of the vocals. I don't know if you guys know that, but she also plays Captain Marvel.
Wait.
I digress.
Ramona Flowers?
Captain Marvel plays Ramona Flowers. She's in the movie.
The movie of
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. She does
girl.
all of the singing. Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to have to call you out on that. Oh, but no, continue on. Continue on.
Look it up. I promise. Look at IMDb. So, the actress who plays Captain Marvel is in Scott Pilgrim, and she does all of the live vocals. Anyways, I never knew there was a game, and I would have loved to play this. This is so up my alley. And I feel like, again, we've talked about this. I'm a cartoon connoisseur of types. I don't get into a lot of animes, but I love cartoons and just the whole feel of this. This is definitely up my alley. So if they re-release it, I'm playing it. Like I don't play controller a lot anymore, but I will to play this. I'll mess up my hands. Let's do it.
Or get a fight stick. Would that work better for you?
Maybe.
Get a mini fight stick. Yeah, like it's a joystick, so you don't. It's not a D-pad, so you're using your whole hand to move to move. Would that hurt more, or would it be?
I mean, it's mostly my left that bothers me. So I am trying to do stretches. I think I'm gonna get some help doctor wise with that, get some injections. But maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, I can also attach my keyboard and mouse, right? There's just like a slight delay.
Oh, okay. So Brie Larson plays like Scott's ex-girlfriend. That's who she was.
Correct.
Okay, but it wasn't Ramona Flowers.
It's not Ramona. Yeah.
I was like, what? It's like, that's not her. I was like, okay.
But she plays the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
That he gets upset about before he dates Ramona. I can't recall her name for the life of me, but she's the blonde in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
But she sings that epic song, like the first battle song when they fight. Oh, like that sets off the movie. Because before that, you're like, this is great. It's a little slow. The comedy's good though. Like they have really great timing. And then that first song, and I can hum it. I can hear it in my head, but for rights purposes, I won't. But yeah, just the movie was fantastic. I think I've watched that movie like
it's a cult classic, by all means.
Oh, absolutely.
What about you, Smitty? What do you think?
You had me at River City Ransom because I absolutely love that game, and this is exactly, you're telling me it's in this universe. Absolutely, dude. I will absolutely check this. I mean, this is right up my alley. I can't believe I didn't really. Well, here's the thing though, too, is that I didn't watch Scott Pilgrim until much later after it had already come out. And I've only seen it the one time. I know that I enjoyed what I watched, but I haven't gone back and watched it again or anything.
Go back. There's so many things that you miss. Like the first 3 times you watch it, every time I watch it, there's something new that I pick up on. It's fantastic.
I love movies like that. So I'll go back and watch this. I just remember that like just the whole concept of it was ridiculously glorious. You know what I mean? And I love it. And the fact that I didn't even know that there was a video game either of this. And you're telling me it's in the style of River City Ransom. Yeah. I'm all in, dude. I'm good with it, baby. I'm good with it. I love this. I think this is great. Well, I hope this is you said this is on console only though?
Yeah, so what happened was this. So they originally made when I think the movie came out in 2010. They came out in 2010, which is crazy to think that it's been 10 years for since this movie happened. But 2010, literally months after the movie came out, I think it bombed in theaters, unfortunately. But when it came out, when it came in, when they 2 or 3 months after that, Ubisoft was released the game for it. Because at that time, Ubisoft was like re-releasing like direct digital games on the PS3. This one kind of was their biggest one because they decided to just make it with Universal, and then they did absolutely no marketing on it, like absolutely none. So so what you ended up having to do was that you had to either, unless you were like keeping up with like gaming news at its time, or through PlayStation, because PlayStation had a thing that they were doing that they were saying, hey, these are the following games that are coming out soon, like a video show of it. Then you could easily bypass that, and then there was a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Lex?
I'm gonna pull a face, and she's not here because this is something Faye would do. She would look up the info. It was released August 13th, 2010. The movie, the film. There wasn't a lot of marketing for it, and I think the reason it's being teased, it's coming back into theaters, because it's the 10th anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
that makes sense.
They're estimating that by the time everything opens back up and kind of gets going economy-wise. By August 13th, theaters will be back open. And so they're saying that it's going to be back in theaters. And so I think that's perfect timing for them to re-release the game if they're able to, for licensing issues. But I mean, if the creator, you know what, that always makes me so sad when people who create something lose their own licensing for that thing. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
Well, I think it was mostly for because since it was a joint thing, it was Ubisoft, Universal hired Ubisoft to make a game for them. It's kind of like how Marvel hired like SquareSoft to make the Avengers game that's coming soon. Like eventually, it's going to be a point where they'll be like, they're not going to renew it because it's going to be long enough to do it. And it did have its run. I mean, 4 years is a pretty good amount of time because that's technically about the last year before they transferred over to PS4 was released. The year before that is when they were shutting that stuff down. So, I mean, and there was a lot of games like that. Like, it's surprising, like the Simpsons arcade game was like that too. X-Men Arcade. All these really good arcade ports were on the during the PS3 that they didn't really say anything about, and then they put it on there for a bit, then they let it go. They just like, okay, then we took it away. But Scott Pilgrim was the one game, because I have said in previous podcasts before, because my biggest push is that we should at least be able to get the digital content that we have purchased in other games or other systems available to us, because we purchased it, instead of keeping a system that we haven't had in so long. It would be very useful. I've always used Scott Pilgrim as the prime example, because I was like, Scott Pilgrim was a great game. It was definitely a game that was easily overlooked, but I'm so glad that they may be bringing this back too as well, if they can give some sort of specialness to it. So. But yeah, definitely. And if there's an online mode, yeah, Smitty, we're going to be definitely beating some heads.
Oh, hell yeah.
Smitty and Lex, if you're
if there isn't an online mode, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's a multiplayer. Yeah, it's a 4-player multiplayer beat 'em up game. I mean, who does that? Like, you don't see that kind of stuff anymore. So I definitely just go through. I would definitely go with all this stuff. So. Okay. So yeah.
Hey, wait. When did you say this is supposed to come out?
Well, there's not. There's talkings. There's underground talkings about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whispers.
I see.
I definitely want. Yeah. This needs to come out. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This needs to come out. And say something when it comes out. It would be very nice to do. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, if you guys play and there's an online, I'll be your fourth. Yeah, so there you go. See, Sir Duncan's already recruiting himself. Yeah, we'll be more than happy. Busting heads and stuff. That was a great series of games. Oh, yeah. All right, so next to the table, we got Smitty coming in hot. What are you bringing to the table, buddy?
I am next. So the first thing I had to talk about, because we just talked about this last week, and how Bethesda, number one, again, I can't say it enough. I swear they hate their fans. They do all the things in spite of what their fans say. They give no F's. no anything. They're like, look, we're just gonna go ahead and do this grimy thing, especially after the backlash that has come from the Valorant within their Vanguard and their anti-cheat. Bethesda last week had snuck in within their last update to Doom Eternal. They had snuck in this controversial anti-cheat, and it's called Denuvo. It's very similar to the Vanguard anti-cheat. It's a kernel driver that basically sits on your zero ring or your administrative level of your PC. So it gives you the options, kind of like what we're seeing now happening with Vanguard and whatnot, where it's shutting off USB ports. It's saying not starting up some services, and it's not even notifying people that this stuff is happening. At first, I didn't understand why all of a sudden Bethesda is introducing this anti-cheat. I didn't realize that Doom Eternal had any kind of multiplayer element. But again, there's a lot of outrage, a lot of backlash, as you can see, from the community, especially those that have no intentions or don't ever play multiplayer. I shouldn't have to have this anti-cheat setting, again, what we said, it's a front door into your PC and to do things. You know what I mean? Why should this thing have to sit there? I don't understand the push for these kinds of invasive anti-cheats now. It doesn't make sense. We're seeing more and more of it happening. We were kind of discussing before we started here, just with I kind of see the Vanguard anti-cheat, and we talked about this somewhere, being basically tested on Valorant so that they can then push it out to League, because we know that League's got a ton of users and stuff like that. Again, this should be concerning to everybody that they're now coming out with these anti-cheats that are sitting at such a low level of our PCs that constantly run, again, especially in this day and age of data and being able to farm data in different ways, utilize that to then make money off of that stuff and whatnot. So you never really know what someone's true intention is. I think it's good. They are backtracking here. Bethesda, the internet won, and Bethesda here is reverting this software so it does not have the anti-cheat. It's crazy to me though. It's just crazy to me that this is even a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've already been through this. Basically, we literally just been through over this last week with Valorant. But I first off, it is kind of funny, the idea of of Bethesda not liking their fans. It's like they're making games out of spite. That's just basically what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, but my take on this is just I'm glad they did the right thing, but just to say that the way in the execution, the thing that was something that people were going to go over, thinking that it was going to go over, it just seems very, very weird that this program that they're wanting to do, why are they trying to be so invasive with the cheating? Are they trying to find the best way to make it fair on all grounds, on of level of play, or what is going on is where I've always what I'm wondering.
Well, and Ducky says that he's gonna send us a link that you can turn the Vanguard off. I mean, that's okay. That's great. But again, it's turning people's computers into bricks. That's where I have an issue. And here, also, let's get into a little deeper here. That's privacy issues. Because again, and I've said this before, when the whole Valorant issue was going on, you're not leaving a back door open, you're giving me a front door. And anyone that knows even just the generic stuff about computers on their own PCs, I mean, I joke that I want to pop into one of my buddy's streams when he's playing Valorant and just turn the camera and link it to me and be like, "What's up?" Because I can do that when you're running a program like that, and it's scary because just farming data in general, okay, but now you're doing something that's basically infringing on privacy laws, and so. I don't understand how they're getting away with that. And with Bethesda, they snuck it in with this update. They didn't say anything about it. They snuck it in. Thankfully, my Steam doesn't automatically update certain games, especially ones that I share with Adam. And so I didn't have the update. And he was like, absolutely not. He immediately got it off his computer. He came in here. He stormed in. He's like, I'll do it for you. I'm like, I'm already installing it. Calm down. It's okay. He's like, I'm going to check and make sure it's not on here. Because like my computer is my life. And a lot of people have a gaming PC and then another computer. No. Everything's on here for me. And so I'm not going to put my privacy at risk for a game. Even though I love Doom, I've loved it from the get-go. That's just not something I'm going to do. Am I happy the internet won? Heck yes. But it wasn't worth it in the first place. And again, it's like they make games in spite of us. I just
yeah.
The idea of that. That's just funny.
I don't understand why they're coming up with these more invasive. I mean, I understand that they're trying to figure out different ways to handle cheaters and whatnot, but I mean, again, this isn't an end-all be-all. We see that their hackers are still able to get around this stuff. Yeah, exactly.
But it doesn't work.
So clearly it's not working. They've got to then reevaluate and go back in. I actually want to go. So Marty Stanton, sorry. This is what, and he is, sorry, let me just check this real quick. Marty Stanton is the executive producer of Doom Eternal. But his quote Marty, as we examine any future of anti-cheat in Doom Eternal, at a minimum, we must consider giving campaign-only players the ability to play without anti-cheat software installed, he wrote, as well as ensure the overall timing of any anti-cheat integration better aligns with player expectations around clear initiatives like ranked or competitive play, where demanded for anti-cheat is far greater. And yeah, that is correct, but still, I mean, the thing that I don't like, and like said, is that they just kind of snuck this in here. Number one, they weren't transparent about what their intentions are, and now they're trying to come back around after the internet rage and say, whoa, sorry guys, yeah, you're right. Is that something that nobody brought up in the meeting? Hey, what about players that don't play any multiplayer? Come on, buddy, you ain't fooling nobody on that. You know what I mean? So like, they're just trying to get back in good graces. I understand that, but it's more about those decisions beforehand that they felt that it was a good idea, not only to introduce this software, because yeah, some sort of anti-cheat does need to be implemented, especially in a competitive field, but to just kind of slide it up in this new update for them, again, that says something about how they're communicating with their fan base. And, it makes you question, what are your intentions behind this, especially when you're trying to be a sneaky snake. So,
okay, but here's and then like kind of going back to what Duncan 13 was saying earlier, that you can able to turn off and on Vanguard while the game is not running. Like, the whole premise of the whole situation is like, yeah, that's an easy fix, but when you really think about it, it's just as equivalent like saying, hey, you can just press this button to show your social security or turn it on or off. Because like, I mean,
right.
Like, why are you giving us that option? I mean, like, you shouldn't even, it should be an obvious option of saying no. This should not be something that shouldn't that you should even have the question to be doing at all. Like, this is something that is invasive to you as the individual. Like, it doesn't matter if it's bricked or if it could brick or not. This is a doorway to your privacy.
It's a privacy issue.
And yeah, and
it's infringement.
Yeah, and I'm just I'm just like, and that's where my issues are standing. It's like, is there any kind of level? There must be some sort of like obvious line that is not met for people to be thinking this kind of stuff is acceptable, because it really is for another company to randomly start doing that or try to do it. It clearly means that there's no like, ethical issues in their minds thinking that they should do it. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Lex?
Let me hand it over to Overwatch. We play this game a lot. We play competitive, and I know, like, when Overwatch first became a thing and competitive first became a thing, Smitty and I were like on a team, so to speak. Like, we all kind of had like an understanding of, this is our crew. We have a few like pull-ins if someone's not there, but we play every night, like this many days a week, and like we're all a crew now, and that's how it's gonna work. And I was like, cool, all right. And I can't tell you how many times back then, like, we would be playing and you could tell a Hanzo had a hit scan, which is cheating. and in the middle of comp, they would get pulled from the game. So why isn't these games taking again, you can cheat. There's ways to get around things, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm gonna hand it to Overwatch. Like, they have a really good way of detecting things. It's not invasive. It's not like intrusive. And it works. It works. Like, why aren't they taking like a page out of their book? I don't understand. Like, why does it have to be this intense? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like that. Again, that doesn't make sense to me. And if you're gonna put something this invasive and it still doesn't work,
that's more of an
now
issue.
I have a major issue.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's like
stop it. Like,
you basically made software to say that it's going to curve cheating, and it may curve cheating. It may reduce the cheating to maybe 5%, 20%, 30%, or whatever, but it's still going through. The overall is still going through. Like, you still see aimbotting, you still see map see-through hacks, all these different kinds of things are still happening. So it doesn't do the job that you're wanting it to do overall. So like, I mean, I don't know, like like Duncan said again, like Big Brother's always watching. That's true. I mean, you can only do so much, but you know, the phrase ignorance is bliss is like, if you're not aware of it, then I mean, I understand that you won't be able to do anything, or you won't do anything. But if you are aware of this stuff, that you can do in your powers to be active and either get rid of it or something. Because like, I love Doom Eternal as well. Like, I mean, I was playing it on my offside. I'm not as hardcore as everyone else is, but like I've been playing it. And when I saw the article about this, I was like, nope, this is going to be off. This is going to be off until otherwise. And then because like, I mean, I know for a fact that if that's a doorway, that's one more doorway that was open that I could have easily controlled to turn it off. So. So I mean, I don't know. So that's there I go on that.
Agreed.
All right.
Good topic, Smitty.
Yeah. Smitty's always like, Smitty seems like to be like the whistleblower for this for these.
I want some of this stuff, because I mean, it's so invasive though, and I feel like people should be, you know, at least understand, you know, what they're allowing into their PC, or potentially again, and what that you know, what those implications can mean, and how it can affect you. So that's super important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much so. So I mean, I mean, it's just like, come on, dude, seriously. It's like, you think it's a good idea. You know, it's kind of weird. It's very weird. Well, I'm just thinking about it even more, that they're trying to be more aggressive to that point, and it still doesn't do anything for you.
Right.
You know, it's just, that's where it's boggling my mind on, like, why are you being so aggressive on doing this, but yet it still is happening. Like, we still have the same issues. You know?
And then that makes you wonder, are there ulterior motives that we don't even know that this program is doing?
Right. I mean, at least they stepped back and said, "Whoa, sorry guys, let's back it up here." Whereas, you know, Valorant and Vanguard, they are full steam ahead. well, I mean, he did say that you have the ability to turn it off and on, but kind of like what you said, like, you know, that's like being able to see the SS or not, and you have to, you know, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I don't like something sitting at that level saying that they can control my PC at any whim. That's how you start Skynet.
Or maybe we're being misinformed. It's possible that we may not have the full information on it. It's either. I mean, it's very possible that, like, they need to be more transparent on what the heck.
Well, you can't just sneak it into an update and be like, oh yeah, then we added this anti-cheat that's gonna set the zero risk. The old thing, we can control your PC. What?
Yeah, I mean, I know, right? It's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna do this so we could do that. You know, you're totally
right. We're not gonna have subscription fees for you guys. Hey, listen, we're gonna need $100 from you guys.
1 year later.
Come on, get out of here, Bethesda. What are you guys? It's Todd Howard. I blame Todd Howard. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
The little man.
Yeah.
The guy. I don't know if he's a little man.
Man, you're gonna totally get us blackballed on any Bethesda.
I'm sorry.
Well, no. No, but you're totally right. You are totally right.
They completely turned me away from the Fallout. Like, even getting back on the Fallout.
He did say literally
the shenanigans. It's the shenanigans. Dude.
He did say, I'm like, 76, when 76 happened, it was like, Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about the subscriptions fee and all that stuff. Not even a year later. Hey, yeah, we're going to be doing a Prime a founders pack or whatever for $100. It's like, how are you so subtle about saying that? Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a whole
everything
different
about
topic in
this has
itself.
been terrible, dude.
All terrible. All terrible. All right, so the last topic of the day is going to be our friend Lex, who is going to be. So, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, this is actually, when I saw it, I was like, this article's old. Like, what is this? Risk of Rain was released last year in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing it since the release. But it is not a full release. So Risk of Rain 2 is pushed back until August. It was supposed to be out this spring, but Hopo Games wants to ensure the 1.0 release is a complete game experience. So Risk of Rain 2, based on the development roadmap, was released in April. It was released in early access to then be full release this year, spring of this year. However, that just didn't happen. And here is a little bit about that. So as we all know, the update is 1.0, the last update until we leave early access. Earlier this month, I ran a quick tweet to get some feedback on what Risk of Rain 2 1.0 may look like to you, the studio wrote. From that tweet, we not only learned that there's quite a few areas of improvement we could work on, but also that you guys are passionate about what Risk of Rain 2 1.0 could be, with many fantastic suggestions and ideas of things that weren't in the original roadmap. What we wanted to make sure was that Risk of Rain 2 was truly a complete game experience. And that means not only completing the fleshing out of content, but improving and iterating on old features and content that's been left behind. In order to meet goals of what 1.0 version Risk of Rain 2 can be, we want to let everyone know we'll be releasing it in August of 2020. I think that is absolutely fantastic. So I've loved Risk of Rain 2. I didn't play the first one. Adam did, and he's the one that got me into Risk of Rain 2. He was like, I don't know, because I do have seizures. He's like, I don't know if you'll be able to handle this. And I'll be honest, after I played that game, it's like I have seasickness for an hour or two because it is such intense, and I do turn my brightness down so that I don't risk, having a seizure. But just the colors, the graphics, everything is fantastic about it. And I love when they release an update, because a lot of the times they'll release a new character, and the way that you go about getting these characters is always different. It's always fantastic. And I feel like everything that I've thought of in my head, like, oh man, I wish that they had this or this, it's been tweeted out by other players and things like that, and they're taking those and they're putting them into the game, and I absolutely love it. So quick play served as an important function at launch, obviously, especially because we didn't know how popular the game may become. But the quick play features is bare bones. Not only that, but the game has evolved past needing to find just a match. You need to find the right match. We think a built-in server browser and hosting will still allow you to connect and find other players easily, while providing a lot of features and choices you want to make before connecting to a game. So in quick play, as of right now, you can play by yourself, and it gets harder and harder as time passes. So it's time-based, and that's how the game continues throughout. So it starts on like easy, medium, hard, oh my god, and then it goes to as you go further. I've played it to the point of like 3 hours straight, and it just stops loading bosses. Like, we've broken the game on many occasions, and it's so fun. And it's not something to be mad about, like, oh, I worked 3 hours. No, because every time you play it, you have to start over. But each character is so much fun, and they're so different, and everything about it is just it's just fantastic. And the updates are always great. The new map releases are always fantastic. And I'm so stoked about this game. And I'm so stoked at the fact that they're not just taking something that already existed and just throwing, confetti on top of it and going, here you go, which I feel like is what a lot of companies do with the second release of a game. The soundtrack to it is amazing. Just everything about it is fantastic, and it's just so cool and so fun. Kitty alert, by the way. I don't know. I love this game and every little facet that there is with it. And yep, here he is. I I'm so stoked. And I love that they're taking advice from the players and they're adding that into the game.
Oh.
See, I've seen you guys play this game before, but I still don't think I understand exactly what it is that you're doing here. I always, and like every time I see you guys playing it, you guys are always having the best time of your lives, and it makes me so jealous.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. I guess I don't understand it because I don't understand exactly what the game is. Like, what's the goal, or what are you trying to do in the game?
So like you first load into a map and you're in a little pod, and you come out of the pod, and I believe you only get the first 2 characters. The rest you have to work for. So you get this character who has the bow and arrow, and then you get Commander, move your head, who has a gun. I'm gonna have to yeet you, buddy. So what you do is you go around, and as you kill the NPCs on the map, right, you then collect money. So the harder they are, the more money you get. And as you collect money, you can then take that money and open boxes. And when you open those boxes, they have an ability, and you can stack those abilities. For instance, like there's the crit glasses, which the main character that I play, she's very tanky. Doesn't look tanky, but she's tanky. And so like crit glasses work for me. And then there's little teddy bears. And when you use the teddy bears, if someone like throws, missiles at you, you hear like a cute little squeaky noise, and it's deflecting that. And so you kind of work with your 4 team, and like you can have the same characters. Usually everyone's a different person, and you kind of know what build each person needs. And so like, let's say I get a bullet and I know that Davies is playing and his character is the commander. That's going to work well for him. So I'll mark it on the map and tell him like, hey, get over here. I'll open a box for you. And so, I mean, you can get like 20 syringes, 20 teddy bears, 20 crits, 20 hooves, and each one does something different. So like the hooves make you run faster. Energy drinks make you shoot and move faster as well, but it's different. And so you kind of and you can see them at the top if you're looking at the gameplay here. Yeah. So then once you've opened a substantial amount of boxes, again, it's time-based and it gets harder and harder. So you work with your team to decide if you want to start the load process. And there is a platform on each map, and you have to find it. So as you're killing and opening boxes, you try to find it, and then you start the boss fight. And there's also shrines around the map, and each shrine does something different. Some of them are blood shrines, which takes half your health, but then you get armor instead. And some characters work really well with that, and others get murdered really fast. And then there's shrines to make boss fights harder, and things like that. So you have to just kind of, it's strategy, but it's also just, I am gonna buy you this game, Smitty. When we get off.
So is Risk of Rain 2 right now just in early? It's in early access. Okay, so that's one thing, and then 2, like the video that you have set here is I think it's kind of getting cut off, Smitty, on the.
I know. I can't figure out what's going on with that exactly. I'm not sure.
Cut off. So the only thing that you're not seeing on the right-hand side is
like the bottom.
So there's easy, medium, and hard that you can set it to. And then right now, I think they're on their first or second map. So this is the boss battle. And this is the Beetle Queen. And she's pretty easy to beat. But then you see the 2 green guys. They're someone must have hit a shrine to cause them to come. And so you get more money and more reward for that. So after you also beat the battle, you'll get like you get prizes. So something that you would get from like a bigger box, you'll get at the end of that. And sometimes you'll have 4 people and you get 8 prizes, or you get 12 prizes and everyone gets 3, or maybe you lost somebody. So then you kind of decide like, well, who needs that extra thing? Because, Smitty died, but Smitty will respawn on the next map. And again, after you so when you're in this boss fight, you can't go and open boxes. You have to wait till after the boss fight, and then you have to load it is time sensitive. So you have to be in that bubble that first appeared to charge up this portal to take you to the next land or world, rather. And again, you get characters as you go along, but they're all different. So Multi, he has 2 like ults essentially that he can hold on to, which look different than the boxes on the map. And with Multi, you have to go. No, it's not him. The character I play, you have to get these special coins. There's the portal, and go through the portal and then purchase her with 10 coins. So you have to save up your little lunar coins and then spend them on her and release her from like an underground prison. And then when you finish up with your game and you reload and you go to character selection, then she will be available.
Man, a lot of stuff is happening in this game. That sounds pretty cool.
And then, another character, like when you get out of your pod, you have to go to the back of the pod and there's a fuel cell. And you have to carry that to a certain point without exploding and unlock another character. So each unlocking of characters is very different and it's always intriguing and it's so fun to like, you kind of work with your team and it's like, okay, so Davies didn't play the last 2 updates. So what characters does he need? We all have our characters, but he needs X, Y, and Z. Let's help him get those characters.
How many characters are there in this game that you can be?
I think currently available Commander, Bowgirl, Multi, the alligator dog thing, the mushroom thing, the unloader. There's a lot.
Wow.
And they're always they show you the spots. Like there's an empty spot. Like maybe there's one more character. Hold on, let me see.
That's pretty. I mean, already this looks. I mean, how you're describing it, it sounds pretty cool. It sounds interesting and definitely different.
There's 6 right now.
Okay.
6.
Wilbo64 says Wilbo64 says Huntress main representing. So
nice.
I guess that's a job class. I'm assuming it's a class on that. Yeah.
So that's who the bow is. What's the girl that I play? I played the other female character. And she's in all white. I'm trying to remember what's her name. It starts with an M. Yeah, there's Commando, there's Huntress. Here, I'll list them off. Multi, who is a little robot, and he can zoom. Engineer, which is fun if you play like those 2 together. The engineer can throw bombs on Multi, and he can zoom into the bad guys and blow them up on contact. I play Artificer, which is a pause character. There's the mercenary, who's like in your face, has like ninja swords. There's Rex, who's a power plant. There's Loader, who's a guidance offline. Astrid, who is this like alien dog, but he kind of has like an alligator face. And he's really cool, and he's poisonous. And so is Rex a little bit, but Rex also heals. So it's kind of like you kind of work around stop, kitty. Who you want to play and how that works with your other characters. And it's really neat. But you also don't have to think too hard on it. Like you can just jump in, play a character and like wing it. And usually do pretty well. I on solo, I think I've lasted 3.5 hours by myself.
And so is there a date now for the game as it's an early release? When is it?
So they said that the full release is August 2020. And they do want to ensure that the delay is not because of COVID. They just wanted to take a lot of the suggestions that were being given for the game and actually implement them into it because thought that the suggestions were actually quite fantastic. And like with the quick play as of right now, you can load in with people that you don't know. And just kind of, again, wing it with them. But I've never done that. I've always played either by myself or with a group of friends. So they are going to add like new servers and things like that. The maps are always fantastic. I don't feel like I ever have an issue with them like being broken. And like this is a box. So, and then this one coming up has money in it. You saw Rockets because he's got a crit a little rocket, and so every time he opens something, rockets spew out, and if there's anything chasing him or trying to kill him, it'll hit them.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Is it and how much does it cost?
Not that much.
It's like
let me look at what
14 or 20 bucks.
I think so. I mean, I gotta buy it for Smitty, so I might as well open Steam anyways. It's not that bad. Let me see. I'll look that up for you right now.
Yeah, so that sounds. I mean,
that's
pretty
interesting game. Davis?
No, I just seen you play. I was like, I didn't know what this game was, and I was just like, every time when I saw like
$20.
I saw Risk of Rain stream. I'm like, okay, and then I just watch. I just didn't know what was going on. Is where it comes down to. Kind of like where.
Wilbo said $15 on Humble. It's $19.99 and still in early access.
Oh, cool.
On Steam.
Yeah, so like, so like the only knowledge I have of it is what you played, and then so I was like, oh, this is very. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see where it goes. Kind of like that other game that what's it called that Smitty was playing, from the people who did
Crucible? No,
not Crucible. It was a while ago. The one did the Dead by Daylight, the other game that they did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that one was it's kind of like that. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is just too much for me. But this one doesn't seem this one doesn't have that vibe though, you know. So
no, and it has a big following too, which is great.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll play it and then I'll see other people get on. And it'll say, you know, so and so is playing it. I'm like, really? I didn't know they played this. And it's just one of those games that, I love it.
That's
I love it. It's fantastic.
All right.
So if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should, guys.
On Steam, because the Lex seal of approval.
It does indeed. And I'm looking for Smitty right now. I'm buying it for you.
All right, Lex. What are your plans for the week? What are your streaming plans this week?
Good question. So I'm sadly not able. I don't think I'm going to be able to stream Alice Looking Glass. Madness Returns. I'm having too many issues. It's a 10-year-old game, so I mean you're going to run into stuff like that. So I think we're going to switch it up this week. Monday, I'm working on a secret project, so I don't know if we're streaming Monday, but of course Spoopy Tuesday will be here. We are missing our special guest for that, so I might fill a spot in. And then I think we're gonna play some new games. I think it's time to. It's time to start Last of Us.
Oh wow, that's good. It's a good time to start. I mean,
Last of Us 2 is coming out. I know that's why. I think that's what we're gonna do is start Last of Us and then play it through and try to get that going throughout the week and not just bounce around to our variety of games that we do. But of course, I'll play Overwatch comp either on or off stream. But I think we're going to start Last of Us 2 this week.
Okay, awesome. Smitty, let me do a shout out to you. S.O. Lex.
Yes, for me, it's I'll be on Mishmash at some point in time this week. I haven't decided when yet or what exactly I'm going to do. And then, of course, Thursday and Friday, I'll be live on my channel unless I'm on Mishmash. As far as game-wise, though, I'm thinking I've got a couple ideas. There's a couple of things that I've got ideas-wise. I want to get back to doing some behind-the-scenes stuff on stream. I was thinking about looking at figuring out how to get some do like a video editing, maybe do like my channel tease promo.
Yeah, you haven't done that in a while.
I know, dude. It's been a grip since I've worked on any of that stuff. So
yeah,
I was looking to get some of that stuff back in, and then I'm still working on Kakarot, and then I'd like to at the same time probably start picking back up Metal Gear and finish that. So
we know that's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
And then the concert. That's all. I totally got duck out here after this because that concert started.
Right. Oh, already did. Okay.
Yeah, it started at 6:30. That's okay.
Cool. All right, cool. And what about the last? I can't remember what I was going to say. Ask you. Never mind. I guess it wasn't important.
It was not important.
It was not important. Okay.
What about you? What is happening with you? What do you have going on?
I was waiting.
Yeah, you did. I noticed. I was like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah. So none going over again. Well, I don't know. Actually, I've just finished Trials of Mana. I want to play something simpler than an RPG because I've gone through too many RPGs in a short period of time. So I'm thinking about looking at what my other options are right now. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood to play some sort of action based. Maybe start streaming my training sessions on the fighting games that I've been messing with. So, but other than that, I'm gonna be up in the air. So I actually might even take a break. I'm not even sure. What's going on. So, but if I do, we'll definitely get it updated. But I just did a shout out to myself on that. So we'll go with that. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching episode number 49 of the CFG GameCast. We love people being part of the conversation, and we welcome more in the near future. So you can always check us out every Saturday on Twitch, on the CFG Gamecast on Twitch, or go on our podcast services on Apple, Google Podcasts, any podcast service has our name on it. Just type in CFG Gamecast, and we publish those every Monday of the beginning of the week. So definitely stay tuned for some more awesome conversations, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode and then some. So this is Davis, Smitty, and Lex signing off. Y'all take it easy.